Okay, let's unpack this. The pace of AI advancement, it feels faster every day, doesn't it? And it naturally brings up a huge question. With all this automation, um, which jobs are actually built to last? Which roles are genuinely resistant?
It's definitely top of mind for so many people. And, it's easy to get caught up in just the headlines about job losses.
Right,
But there's another side, a more nuanced picture about where human skills really remain essential.
exactly. And for this deep dive, we're kind of pulling back the curtain on one specific analysis that offers a really focused perspective. Our source today is an article from Forbes.
Hmm.
It's by Brian Robinson, PhD, and it's titled The 10 Careers AI Can't Replace in 2025 Yet.
That yet is doing a lot of work there, isn't
Oh,
it?
it really is.
Acknowledging how fast things are moving. But yeah, the mission for us today is to really dig into what this specific article's analysis reveals about the jobs it flags as most resistant right now.
And crucially, why it says they're resistant based on its criteria.
Exactly.
Right,
And
yeah.
see what that tells us about, well, the immediate future of work.
So the article starts by setting the scene. AI has impacted jobs. And yeah, it's projected to continue doing so.
No surprise there.
But it also brings up an interesting point. Some data suggests AI is actually helping leaders improve work-life balance, saving them time.
That's a positive spin you don't always hear.
Right. And then it introduces this core analysis it's based on, evaluating job resistance through two main lenses.
Right.
How much human interaction a job needs,
Okay.
and how likely it is to actually be automated. These two factors are then combined into something the study calls an AI resistance score.
Right, that score. And that's key to understanding the ranking they present. The article references a study by Eskimos that actually crunched the numbers to calculate this score for different professions.
Okay, so how did they actually come up with that number? Like, what was the formula, according to the source?
Well, what's interesting here is the weighting they used. The score is calculated by giving weight to the percentage of human interaction required in a role,
Got it.
and then inversely weighting the likelihood of that role being automated.
Okay, so higher human interaction need, lower chance of automation equals a higher AI-resistant score. That weighting really emphasizes the human element, doesn't it?
Precisely. It's sort of putting a numerical value on those irreplaceable aspects,
Right.
at least for now. And based on this method, the article ranks 10 careers.
All right, let's get right into their findings then. Starting with the jobs they identify as the most resistant, kicking off the list at number 1 with a perfect 100 AI-resistant score. Lawyers.
Lawyers, yeah, they top this list. The source points out they require, apparently, 100% human interaction
Wow, 100%.
and have a surprisingly low 29% likelihood of AI replacement, according to this analysis anyway.
That 100% human interaction is really notable. And why does the article say they're so resistant? What makes legal work, different in this context?
Well, the article states it fundamentally requires complex human reasoning, balanced decision-making, often in really nuanced situations, and deep legal interpretation. These aren't just about processing data. They involve judgment, strategy, interpersonal skills, things AI, well, still struggles with.
Okay, that makes sense. Number 2 on their list, scoring a 93, medical and health services managers.
Right, so for managers in the healthcare space, the study found they require over 89.8% interaction,
High interaction again.
very high, with the general public or their staff. And that's coupled with a relatively low 26% likelihood of AI replacement.
So even with all the AI innovation we hear about in, say, medical diagnostics or treatment itself,
Yeah, the source really highlights that managing the complex human system of healthcare, staff, patients, the operation, that requires a critical human touch.
it involves that high level of interaction.
Exactly. And that's just not easily automated away.
Moving to number 3, human resources managers, coming in with an 87 score.
This one feels almost intuitive, doesn't it?
It kind of does, yeah.
The analysis found 82.9% human empathy is considered essential for this role.
Empathy.
Yeah, and only a 26% chance of automation.
Right, because AI can handle maybe payroll or scheduling tasks.
Sure.
But it can't really navigate a complex employee conflict or provide genuine support with, well, empathy.
Exactly. That essential human quality is just central to the role and, according to this source, makes it highly resistant. Okay, number 4 on the list, general and operations managers, scoring a 75.
General and operations managers. Okay, what is it about managing the overall operations that keeps it resistant?
Well, the analysis suggests over 80.3% of employees in this kind of profession should be involved in direct public interaction or managing teams.
Okay.
And the chance of automation is pegged at only 36%. So it's that need for broad oversight, strategic human decisions, and direct leadership.
Things AI can't replicate.
Not yet, anyway. Not according to this study.
And wrapping up their top five, at number 5, we have first-line supervisors of administrative support workers with a score of 64.
Right. The source points out this career requires a significant 81.6% human interaction.
Still very high.
Yeah, though it does have a higher 50% chance of being replaced by automation compared to those top jobs on the list.
50%. So a higher automation chance, yet still resistant enough to land in the top 5. What's the core reason, according to the article?
It still basically boils down to the fundamental need for interpersonal communication and people management. Leading a team.
Right.
While some administrative tasks can be automated, actually supervising, motivating, guiding people effectively, that still requires human connection and nuanced understanding.
Okay, so just to recap, the top 5 most resistant careers, according to this specific Forbes article and the Eskimo study it cites: lawyers,
Yep.
medical and health services managers, human resources managers, general and operations managers, and first-line supervisors of administrative support workers. The clear through line the source identifies seems to be that critical need for significant human interaction, complex reasoning, empathy, and effective people management.
It's fascinating, isn't it? How consistently those human-centric skills pop up as the barrier for automation in this particular analysis.
The article does list the full 10, though, which gives us a bit of a broader picture. So rounding out their top 10, we have number 6, training and development specialist. They got a 61 score.
Okay, training and development makes sense. High human engagement needed, 57.8%, and a relatively low automation chance at 29%.
Then number 7, architectural and engineering managers with a 55 score.
Now, this one's interesting. Lower on the human interaction percentage, 47.1%.
Yeah.
But they notably have the lowest likelihood of automation on the entire list at just 25%.
Interesting combination there. Then number 8, also scoring 55, compliance officers.
Compliance. High human interaction, again, 72%, but also a higher risk of replacement, back up to 50%.
Right. Number 9, industrial production managers, score 48.
Okay, and the stats.
Requires significant human interaction for problem solving and customer communication. That's 51% interaction, with a 37% likelihood of automation. The source emphasizes the need for human-centered decision-making here.
Got it. Human-centered.
And finally, number 10, also scoring a 48, graphic designers.
Graphic designers. Now, that's one people often talk about with AI image generation.
Exactly. And interestingly, they have very high human interactions, 72.5%.
Higher than compliance officers, even.
Right, but also the highest chance of being replaced on the whole list at 48%.
Wow. So high interaction, high automation risk. What's the reasoning there according to the source?
The article's explanation is that the role requires really nuanced client communication, understanding briefs, and creating visuals that truly align with a brand message.
The interpretation part.
Exactly, in a way that goes beyond algorithms just, generating images based on prompts or data. It's about the communication and strategic alignment.
That graphic designer example is actually a great illustration, isn't it? That even in creative fields needing heavy human input, certain aspects might be more susceptible to automation if they can be sort of reduced to predictable processes.
Right.
While others, like interpreting abstract client needs or that strategic brand thinking, remain resistant, at least according to this study.
So the article wraps things up by encouraging a move away from a simple AI is good or AI is bad kind of narrative.
Yes, I like the analogy it used. Like water, it can sustain life or it can drown you.
Right.
It's not inherently one or the other. Its impact depends entirely on how we choose to use it.
And it brings in a perspective from Arianna Huffington, suggesting that the goal shouldn't just be for AI to perform tasks for humans, but to actually help us connect more deeply with what makes us human in the first place. She calls the typical debate a false binary.
Yeah, that false binary point is interesting. So if we kind of zoom out, the overall message from this source about AI and jobs seems pretty clear.
What's the main takeaway?
Well, that avoiding or fearing AI isn't really a viable strategy. I mean, it's fundamentally becoming integrated into our future, isn't it?
It seems that way. So what does all this mean for us, for you listening? The key, according to the article, lies in embracing AI, understanding its capabilities and its limitations,
Right.
and learning how to leverage it responsibly, ideally for the common good.
Exactly. And this list of resistant careers, it provides a really powerful illustration of the specific types of work that AI, as it stands in this analysis anyway, can't simply take over.
Because they're built on those unique human capacities.
Right, whether it's complex judgment, empathy, leadership, or that kind of nuanced communication we talked about.
So to bring it all together, the core finding from this deep dive into the Forbes article is really that jobs demanding significant human interaction, complex reasoning, empathy, and nuanced decision-making. Those are the ones currently identified as the most resilient against AI automation.
And understanding why these roles are seen as resistant. What specific skills and types of interaction are highlighted in the source that can be incredibly valuable.
How so?
Well, when you think about your own strengths, your current role, or maybe potential career paths in this evolving landscape, it shifts the focus from fearing the machine to valuing the distinctly human contributions.
This really raises an important question for all of us, I think. The article's closing sentiment suggests that instead of just fearing AI, maybe we should focus more on how it can be used to help humanity flourish.
And maybe even enhance those unique human capabilities that make these jobs resistant in the first place.
So a final thought for you to ponder, drawing from the article. As you look at your own work and skills, what aspects involve that irreplaceable human touch that this analysis points to? Something to think about as we all navigate the future of work with AI?